Now, what is the correct way to pronounce your stage name?
Just think of two children, kid.
Do people mispronounce this?
No, people don't mispronounce it, but they'll misspell it. You know, like a lot of people will put KID instead of KIDD. You know what I mean? I run into that a lot.
Now, do you actually like being called that name in full? Kid? Do you prefer Kid for short? Do you prefer something else?
I really prefer, you know, my nickname, you know what I'm saying? My street nickname, you know, which is Peanut, you know what I'm saying? A nut for short. But you know, that's only people like in New Orleans or, you know what I'm saying? Or if you really, really know me. That's how I always like differentiate the people that just know me from music and people that actually know me. For real. Just earlier today, we was in the mall and had a guy, you know, passing. He was like, "Oh, what's up, nut?" I was like, "Oh, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? For real, you know, because I know one thing, like either you know me like that, or you know some of my people, or you know what I'm saying? For real, just been, you know, following me and stuff like that. So I prefer that more than anything.
So for further clarification, do you actually prefer peanut or nut out of the two?
It really don't matter. You know, like it really don't matter. You know what I mean? Even if somebody, you know, when people call me kid, you know what I mean? Because no matter what, just being recognized is, you know, is a blessing for me, you know what I mean? For real, because that's what I'm in this for. You feel me?
Now, there was also a time in your career where you were going under the name Nut the Kid.
Yeah, Nut the Kid. I was Nut the Kid, Peanut Flame. You know what I'm saying? That was during the Squad Up days. Yeah.
Why the name change ultimately to Kid?
Because I felt like it was kind of too long for one, and for two, it was like it really like real talk. It started from like a Madden game. You know what I'm saying? From a Madden game, and you know, just talking shit on Madden, and you know what I'm saying? You know, you killing a nigga, like, you know, when you killing a nigga on the game, you just talk all kind of shit. And it became like, you know, holla at the kid, nigga. No, nigga. Then I fucked around, intercepted the ball, and scored right back. And then like, no, nigga, holla at me twice, nigga, kid. And it kind of like stuck with me because that person that I played, you know what I'm saying, that I was playing against, we ended up, you know, he came to the studio with me. And I'm just constantly talking shit to him about the shit. And then Wayne heard it. And Wayne ended up saying it on the song. And once Wayne said it on the song, it just kind of like stamped it, you know what I mean? And I stuck with it from there.
Do you remember what the name of the song in reference is?
It was probably like the squad up 3. You know what I mean? Like around squad 3. What song this was, man? I can't think of the exact song, but it was around like squad 3 around that time.
And historically speaking, when it came to your actual stage name, that's on DSPs and things of that nature, was it always just Kid on those DSPs, or was it any of the nut names?
Yeah, it was Kid. It was always Kid. Yeah.
Care to share your race, ethnicity, or nationality?
Yeah, I'm 100% nigga. I don't know what else to say. For real.
And what's the main language you speak at this point?
New Orleans slang. You heard me?
Which
heard me?
which could fall under the English language.
Yeah, it can. You heard me?
Now, be that as it may, ever took a foreign language class in school, perhaps?
Man, what's crazy is I did. You know, I think every about it if you ever went to school. I'm pretty sure, once you get to high school, you gotta be in those, foreign classes, foreign teaching classes. Mine was Spanish. It was Spanish and French, like at the same time. Yeah.
And how many grades did you take of each? Was it just that one school year or multiple school years for you?
Nah, it was just that one school year for real.
And if you can recollect back in those school days, was that a requirement or an elective for you?
It was a requirement. It was a requirement, like they chose that class, like for me or whatever. Mm-hmm.
And was it a requirement just to have a foreign language, or was a requirement Spanish or French?
Like once the school year starts and everything, and it's time to, to go there once school starts, you go there on the first day or whatever, and, you gotta go up and you get your, your card, It's a card where it tells you all the classes that you have, and it just was on there. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did you take either of those foreign language classes serious back in those days? Did you try to learn it? Did you try to give it an honest shot?
Man, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, bro. Like no matter like how bad I was in school, how many times I got expelled, all that, bro. Like I ain't played no games. Like when it came to, like school, like for real. In school, I really made good ass grades, bro. You know what I'm saying? And graduated and everything, real talk. But yeah, I took that shit serious. You know what I'm saying? Like I was good at it when I had to do it. You feel me? But I can't remember none of that shit now. It's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? For real, because I always like try to think about that. I'd be like, yo, like, man, I was good at this shit. Like, how I can't remember it now? Like, it's crazy.
Do you remember the school you attended back in those days for those two classes?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Frederick A. Douglass High School. You dig? In the name of St. Claude, Nelvin. Let's go.
And when it came to your education, how far did you ultimately get with that?
Yeah, I graduated, I graduated high school. You feel me? Like after that, it was, It was after that, for real.
So never furthered the education after high school?
Nah.
And what was the decision making back in those days at that time in your life? There are some that do, there's some that don't.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna front, man. For me, it was more of like right after high school and everything, I was already like rocking with Lil Wayne and doing the squad shit and stuff like that. So I was just like, all right, you know what I mean? I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna, you dig, fuck with the rap shit. So, I was doing that from there. Mm-hmm.
Any regret with that on how everything's played out up into this moment?
Nah, man, I don't have no regrets at all. Man, because I know like how much like that shit saved me from a lot of things also, So like ain't no regrets at all.
Care to shed some light on what that saved you from?
It saved me from being dead in jail. You know what I'm saying? For real, like, like most of my partners and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like even now to this day, like most of my close homies and shit, everybody dead, you know what I'm saying? In jail right now. So I know for a fact, like without traveling and seeing the world and being in the studio at certain times and stuff like that, you know what I mean? I'd be right there. For real, I'd be right there.
Now, what is the biggest misconception of you at this point?
The biggest misconception, I would say that people underestimate me. When they see me or whatever, like if you actually like if you don't know me, I'm gonna say that. Like if you don't know me, like you will probably like underestimate me, like you'll probably think like either you feel like I can't rap the way that I actually rap, you know what I'm saying? Or you might think that like I don't know the things that I know, You feel me? For real, but, you know, they learn. You know what I'm saying? They learn.
And where does the misconception of that nature stem from?
Just by the way I kind of am. Like, I'm a real, like, quiet dude. Like, I don't say much. I like to listen. I like to listen and observe. You feel me? So, like, if you ever was to really, really, like, be around me, like, I'm a real, like, quiet dude, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to learn. Like, no matter how much I feel like I know there's always more to learn. You feel me? So I'd rather sit back and listen to everybody talk, see what they know, see what he knows, see what he know. You know what I'm saying? And I apply it to what the fuck I already know. You know what I'm saying? To try to excel further, for real.
Now, were you always like this? Did you always embody this characteristic or characteristics, or did you grow into this?
Yeah, nah, I was always like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I grew up with, you know, like my uncles and, you know what I'm saying, my grandmother and stuff like that, where they always told you, nigga, shut the fuck up and listen. You know what I'm saying? For real. And so, you know, but you know, after being around a bunch of like older people, because I always hung with a lot of older people, and just being around a bunch of older people, you know, you want to pick up stuff from them, you know what I'm saying? You know, you want to pick up their good habits, you know what I'm saying? Learn from their bad habits. You feel me? And, you know, I just, you know, became a sponge.
What is your opinion on the phrase, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room?
That's true. That's true. Because most people I feel like, that just want to be loud, they just want to be seen, you know what I'm saying? They just want the attention and stuff like that, you feel me? It's really because they don't really have nothing going for themselves once they get out of that element. Like, once they get home, they probably just lonely and fucked up and, you know what I mean? Shit like that, like real talk. So like, for a lot of people, once they get around certain people or a certain group of people, they gotta be loud. They want to be seen so bad. You get what I'm saying? For real, you know, when they actually don't have shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, you know, I feel like it's a very true saying.
What about this phrase? A closed mouth doesn't get fed.
That's true, too. That's true, too. You got to learn how to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be demanding of shit. You know what I'm saying? But just know how to talk to people. You know, learn how to, you know, how I want to put it. Because, you know, like, you can ask a person for what you want, right? But it's the way how you ask that person. So you need to learn how to actually talk to people.
Now, when it comes to the original question at hand, which was what the biggest misconception of you is, and you stated what that was, have you lost opportunities from that misconception of you?
No, I actually haven't. Like, I actually haven't, for real. I can't say that I have.
Craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Oh, say, bro, it's so many. I ain't gonna lie, it's so many of them. So many of them, bro. You know I'm from the hood, right? Yeah, I'm saying, for real. Yeah, my mom amazing, man. So it's gonna be all kind of man. It's been so many crazy rumors, even up to this day, bro. It's a lot of rumors that don't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of rumors I laugh at. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I would say, you know, because, you know what I'm saying, you know, we doing the interview and this rap stuff like that, when they, you know what I'm saying, the streets are alone and shit. One of the biggest rumors, right, that people get wrong is that the labels dropped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you feel me? For real. Like, when it came to my Lil Wayne situation, when I was with Wayne, after the Ms. Officer, stuff like that, nah, I walked away from it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it still was phone calls and everything for me to come back. Nah, you know what I'm saying? You did, because I'm a man. Now, see, a lot of people, what I learned is a lot of people, they judge things and they look at stuff from a dick riding standpoint. Now, when I say a dick riding standpoint, is that they feel like, man, if I was in that position, fuck that, I'd be all under this nigga. I'd be kissing these niggas' ass all day, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, just wasn't raised like that. Like, I don't care who you is, what you got, whatever you dig, I'm a man first, you feel me? So if I feel some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to kill you, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather keep my distance, you know what I'm saying? The same thing like with 50, like, I see that and like, oh, you did, 'cause 50 dropped you. No, he didn't, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, he off doing moves and everything else, you know what I'm saying? Like, he not focused on, you know what I'm saying, on the music, and, I'm around for the music, you feel me? So I gotta keep it going, you know what I mean? It's no bad blood, with none of them, you know what I'm saying? I just went to the Wayne concert, like about 2 months ago, something like that. You know what I'm saying? To go rock with them, you know what I'm saying? I still talk to all of them to this day. You know what I mean? For real, and, they respect me for this, you know what I'm saying? They respect me for, wanting to get out and handle business on my own, you know what I mean? For real.
A few things here based on what you just said. You said rock with them. Was that alluding to a performance? Did you actually perform on stage and touch the mic with them, or?
Nah, when I say rock with them, I mean like, still talk to them, keep in touch with them, could go around them, hang with them. You know what I'm saying? You did pick up the phone and call them, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Because you used the phrase concert, so I didn't know if that was an actual performance you had a chance to
do. Nah, I went there, you know what I'm saying? Show love, show support, you know what I'm saying?
Pulled up on them.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Now, what about your communication with 50 Cent or G-Unit, things of that nature? When's the last time you've communicated with that scenario?
Probably, I would say probably like about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? While they was on tour. They was in Utah. I talked to them and stuff.
Now, when it comes to those two situations in particular, you've just described how things ended with those scenarios and continue on today, but any regret with those decisions you made in regards to each of those music scenarios?
No. Nah, bro. Like, I don't, I don't live with regrets. You know what I'm saying? For real, like, nah, there's no regrets at all, you feel me? Like, it's not nothing that's stopping anything or nothing like that, you know what I mean? For real, and like I said, I still could pick up a phone, you dig, and look, hey, let me, whatever, so, you feel me? Nah, no regrets at all.
Do you miss any of those times? The G-Unit days, the Squad Up days?
Well, like, yeah, sometimes, you sit back, and you think about it, you know what I'm saying? But I'd rather, like, create, like, my own memories of me and my family, you know what I'm saying? Me and my folks, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's more, you know what I mean, special to me than anything, you know what I'm saying? For real, but it was a great experience, you know what I'm saying? For real, I got to learn a lot of shit, see a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And I was taught a lot of things at the same time.
You mentioned the phrase hood here. Is it a particular hood you represent?
Yeah, man, Mazan, man. Mazan Street, Ninewall, downtown, New Orleans. For real.
Now, what is your policy on rumors? You mentioned there are a lot of rumors over the years about you, but how do you handle them?
I know, because I feel like this, right? Like, if a person, like, it's like this, you know what I'm saying? You only matter to the people that's close to you, right? So it's like, if a person could jump out the window off of a rumor, knowing that they know you know what I'm saying? Then they don't need to be around you from the jump. You get what I'm saying? For real. So, I don't pay attention to none of that, you know what I mean? Because the people that need to know, they know.
Now, what about questions? Is there a question you receive you dislike getting asked? Something...
Yeah. What, man, when you dropping something new? Look, I hate that question. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you'll be to just drop some shit like 3 days ago, you know what I'm saying? It'll still be like, yo, man, what the next one you drop? Bro, I just dropped this shit 3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, damn, bro, let me, you know what I'm saying?
Now, do you think these are people that know you dropped something 3 days ago, or that's just
sometimes
an icebreaker?
Sometimes it's not. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not. And I tell people that all the time. You know, that's why I don't take too much offense to it. You know what I'm saying? And when they do ask me, I just let them know. Like, look, I just dropped this 3 days ago. Woo, woo. Now, sometimes it'll be people like, yeah, bro, I got that already, but you know what I'm saying? When the next thing man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me breathe.
Now, speaking of music and releases and things of that nature, how do you operate when it comes to your releases these days? Is it, well, I'll let you explain. I don't want to put any words in your mouth here.
Well, nowadays, man, it's like, you know, people got so much of a short span for music. So it's like, if you ready to put something out, you gotta put it out. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like lately I've been working on, you know, like getting my marketing and all that type of shit together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just, you know, get with the distributing company and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let them know when I want to schedule a release. You know what I mean? And, you know, put it out, see what it does from there. You know what I'm saying? I like to do a lot of shit organically. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know, run to all the blogs to post it. I don't pay for streams. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to build my shit organically. You know what I mean?
So just for a little bit more clarity, when it comes to releases these days, is it just whenever you artistically feel like releasing? Is it a quota perhaps? Are you the type that, hey, I got to drop something once a month or once a quarter or two albums a year?
Nah, it be like with me, bro, I record, because I try to be in the studio every day. So I record so much to where it's like, all right, when I feel like I'm in a certain mode, because I can record a song every day or whatever, this and that, but then I click and get into a certain mode, you know what I'm saying, to where I might do like 10, 12 songs that's kind of like on that same level and it all fits, you feel me? And that's what I base an album on, you know what I mean, or a project on, you feel me? And I release it from there, for real. For real.
Do people say you look like anybody?
Yeah, all the time, you know. People always tell me I look like Denzel Washington.
Now, it's one thing for people to say.
But I'm gonna tell you some real shit, dude. Like it was like, you know, like a couple of people, like it'd be like, man, you like Kodak Black, but trying to be funny on some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but that shit crazy.
Now, it's one thing for people to say you look like anybody, but have you ever honestly been mistaken for anyone?
Nah. I gotta just say that. Nah.
Once upon a time, back in 2015, you graced the cover of XXL as a freshman.
Yeah.
In the freshman class of that particular year.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you earned that position?
Hell yeah. By grinding. I went on a whole campaign. You know, I went on a whole campaign. I dropped the mixtape, Rapper's Worst Nightmare and everything. You know what I mean? For real. And I actually was voted. And you know what's crazy? I think that was the first issue where, you know, person was actually voted. You know what I'm saying? That spot. For real.
The 10th spot.
Yeah, for real.
Now, back in those days, that particular year, were you signed to a record label at that time?
Yeah, I was with G-Unit.
Now, what did that position mean to you? Not being signed to that label, but that spot on that cover.
It meant everything. It meant a lot because, you know, just being, you know, in this industry and just a rapper period, you know, you came up watching, looking at XXL magazines and reading that and stuff like that, and to be on the cover like was crazy. Whether it was that, just any kind of cover of any magazine, for real. But what's crazy is that same year I actually was on the cover twice. Once for the freshman cover, and second was we had the cover with like the whole G on it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That meant like so much because like at that time my dad was in jail. You know what I mean? And he got to see that cover, and you know what I'm saying? Like that means so much. You feel me? To a lot of people. For real. That meant a lot to a lot of people to see me on it.
And speaking of G Unit, was that the first year you were signed to G Unit?
Was it the first? Nah, it wasn't the first year. It wasn't the first year.
Do you remember when you actually signed? If it wasn't 2015.
Nah, it was like, I think it was like either 13 or 12. Let me see. It's around when I got shot up. So it was like, yeah, like 12, 2012.
Now, when it came to that 10th spot and that freshman class cover, one of two that year, as you just mentioned, how were you notified you actually earned that spot and were going to be on that cover? Before the actual cover drops to the public, how far in advance do you get the...
Well, I just grinding, and I remember going into the office, the G Unit office in New York. I went in there and, damn, man, she'd kill me if she knew I forgot her damn name, man. Oh my God. But the lady at the time that was over the G in the office, she came, came running out there. She was like, "Kid, we got your schedule, you good, kid?" You know what I'm saying? This and that, yeah. We got the call from Vanessa, and yeah, you made it, the 10th spot, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You got the photo shoot next month, all that, this and that, you know what I mean? So, like, it was cool. It was cool.
So just for historical purposes, how much time, when you get that notification in real life, before you actually are publicly seen on that cover? Is that a month before, 2 months, 3 months?
I think it was like, really probably about like a month. Yeah, a month before.
And whoever's chosen, it's kept secret until that cover releases. Was that easy or hard for you to keep that secret? Did anyone literally know about it aside from you and G Unit?
Nah, not really. Like, it wasn't hard to keep the secret because at that time, like, I wasn't really like around none of my people, you know what I'm saying, to really tell them. And so, I just was just steady working, you know what I'm saying? Just constantly just in the studio and stuff like that till it was time to do the photo shoots and everything like that.
What about your own friends and family? Do you notify them before the cover drops, or do you wait for the cover?
Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. I called them and told them. Hell yeah. For real. Nigga, I got the cover, nigga. I'm there.
What about your father? Do you keep that a secret from him and wait for him to see the actual cover in person, or?
Well, I didn't really have a choice at that time. He was in jail, and I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I can only talk to him whenever he, can call, so, you know what I'm saying? But, when I talked to him, I didn't talk to him until he had the actual cover in his hand and shit like that, yeah, so.
And what was his reaction?
Oh, man, he sounded like he was crying on the phone. You know what I mean? You live on the cover. We got it, Paul. You know what I'm saying? God credit for real. He actually took the magazine from somebody else. You know what I mean? Because somebody else in there had bought the magazine, and and they showed him, and he took the magazine from them. You know what I'm saying? And kept it for real. He came home with them same magazines too.
Now, what was the reaction from the public to your achievement when that cover released?
Yeah, well, you know, like a lot of people was happy that I was getting some, you know, kind of recognition. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, of course, you know, like, you know, they had people like, man, you know, man, kid ain't no rookie. That kid been doing this here. You know what I'm saying? For real, you hear me? But, you know, for the most part, you did, like, you know, people was just happy I was just getting, you know, getting my recognition, for real.
And what did you think of that class? You were the 10th spot, but aside you, it was Dej Loaf, Fetty Wap,
Yeah.
Gold Link, K Camp, OG Mako, Rari, Shy Glizzy, Tink, and Vince Staples.
Shout out to all of them, man. You know what I'm saying? All of them are real dope artists. Real dope artists, man. Like, shout out to them, man. For real.
And do you actually, all 10 of you are on set at one time for photo shoots and video recordings and things of that nature?
Yep. It was fun, man. It was you know what I'm saying, a great experience, like, for real. It was fun doing that shit.
And what did that achievement do for your career?
It did a lot, man. It definitely, you know, got my name out there and stuff like that way more than I thought it was, you know. And what's crazy is, like, you know, a lot of people, you know, they didn't know my story, you know. Like, they didn't know my story. They didn't know that, you know, I been rapping and stuff like that, you know what I mean? To a lot of the people, it was just more of, oh, okay, this new guy with 50 with G-Unit. You know what I mean? It's still people to this day that still never put two and two together that I'm the same kid from the Mrs. Officer joint. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, it did a lot. It did a lot.
And forgot to ask you this when we were talking about reactions and things of that nature, but prior to you on the cover of this XXL magazine, had you been on covers of any other magazines previous to that?
Yeah, like local magazines. You know what I mean? A lot of people always, you know, really did, like, just show me love. You know what I'm saying? Just because of, you know, the person who I am. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of the magazine, bro? I wanna, cause they always show me love, bro, and they still do, man, to this day, man. I wanna say, damn, man, what's the name of the magazine, bro? We just did something for Danny. I was on a cover from the time when I did the Peanut from Amazing, and they had that picture on the cover. Damn, man. Sorry, man. I can't even think of the name, man. But yeah, you know, like, we showing love.
Now, what's that feeling like when you're on the cover of a magazine?
It feel good. You know what I'm saying? You know, it feel good. You know, because, like, just as an artist, period. You know, it like everything that you accomplish, everything that happens, you know what I'm saying, moving forward, it motivates you more. You know, it motivates you more. You feel me? It makes you feel like, yeah, you know, you're not actually doing this for nothing. You get what I'm saying? So you need all those things, you know, for real. You need those things.
But as you're signed to G-Unit in 2015 and you're traveling and things of that nature, because that's a national publication, you could literally at the airport stop at one of the newsstands and see yourself on that cover at any given point while that magazine is out and available.
Yeah.
What's that feeling? Would you do things of that nature just cause?
Of course. You know what I'm saying? It's been a couple of times where I walk in either like Walmart, Walgreens, you know what I'm saying, wherever, and I see that magazine, like, you know, I'm gonna definitely buy one. You know, I'm gonna buy one for sure, like, just cause, you feel me, for real, and, you know, either give it to a family member or give it away somewhere. You know?
Now, is that a good or bad thing when you actually go to a newsstand and you see that magazine and your cover on it? Because if if that magazine is still on the shelf, it hasn't been sold yet. It's still available. So would that ever disappoint you? Like, man, all these should be sold out already. I should even...
Not at all, because you don't know the dynamics all the time, you know? They could have been sold out and just never been restocked. You know what I'm saying? For real. So, you know, you can't look at it like that. You feel me? For real. Like, well, me personally, you know, like, you know, I didn't look at it like that. You know, I was just stoked on the fact, look at me on the motherfucking cover. You know what I'm saying? For real. You hear? Like, let me get this shit. For real. And then plus, you know, we in the era now where, you know, the internet took over everything, you know what I mean? So a lot of people, you know, wouldn't really read a book when they could just open their phone and, you know what I'm saying? You know, get on a book like that.
How many copies did you end up personally buying yourself back in those days of that particular cover?
I definitely probably bought more than 10. More than 10. Because we was, like I said, you know, like, we were traveling a lot of places and I kept seeing them. And every time I see one, I buy one. You know what I mean? I see one, I buy one. You feel me? For real, sign it, give it away.
And I've got one more XXL freshman question for you, but before I ask you that, which cover meant more to you that year? The one of the freshman class or the G Unit one?
I would say, shoot, I can't really put one above the other, bro. You know what I'm saying? I really can't. You know what I mean? I can't put one above the other, man. Like, both of them, you know, just, you know, both of them was telling my story, you know? So, you know, and that was always, like, my main goal is to, you know, get my story told.
And here's that final question, okay? Let's say, and this is generally speaking, okay? But let's say that there's someone in the audience that is going to end up being on the freshman class cover themselves. Anything you would say to that person listening or watching this?
Oh, man, yeah, man. Go hard. You know what I'm saying? Go hard. For real, you know. Have your raps ready. You know what I'm saying? You know, for real. Make sure you put on a standout performance. You know what I'm saying? You know, definitely have your like, outfits together. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And have fun. You know what I'm saying? Have fun, man. Network with all the other artists that's around, you know? For real, man. You know, have fun, man. Enjoy the moment.
All right. And out of all those names in that class, did you build any special relationships with any of those?
Yeah.
Any personal bonds out of those other 9?
Yeah.
That developed from that moment there?
Yeah. You know, I was rocking with a couple people out the class.
Any names you care to share?
You know, it's a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them there. They know what it is. You feel me? You know, I don't want to, you know, really, you know, say too much.
All right.
Yeah. They say gotta keep it P.
No problem there. Okay, now I want to ask you this. Now, in that previous portion of questions, when was asking you about G-Unit and things of that nature and that XXL freshman cover, you mentioned the fact that there was a time in your life when you were shot.
Yeah.
How many times were you shot?
6 times.
On one occasion?
Yeah.
Is that something we can talk about?
Yeah. You know.
A few questions here about that. Now, what part of the world did that take place
in New Orleans.
in? Do you remember what age that was in your life?
That was like in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Like right when I was like meeting 50. You know what I'm saying? For real, it was just so much shit just going on at that time. You know what I mean? And shit just got caught. You know what I mean? For real.
And where on your body were you shot exactly?
Like the belly. You know what I'm saying? Like all belly and in my lower area, stuff like that. Still got a bullet in my leg.
Just one?
Yeah, still just got one in my leg. The leg's at the hospital. Yeah.
Now, for those in the audience that's never been shot by a gun before, what does that really feel like?
I would say, like, everybody probably got different experiences, bro, because, like, when it happened to me, I guess, like, the adrenaline or whatever, like, I ain't feeling that. Like, I ain't feel it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel the bullets and stuff, but I couldn't move at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't move. Like, you did for real. Like, from the waist down, like, I was just stuck. Like, I couldn't move. But, I didn't really, feel the pain and stuff like that. You know what I mean? For real, I was just focused on, man. I was just like, man, call my kids, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? For real, I wanted to, because I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was over for me. You get what I'm saying? For real, I just wanted to talk to my kids before I go. You know what I mean? For real, you hear me? It happened right in front of my mom, though. You know what I'm saying? In front of my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy out there. It's crazy.
Your mom actually saw it take place?
Yeah. I was in the middle of a conversation with her. I was dropping her off.
Were you, in fact, able to speak to your kids during that moment as well?
Nah, man. Everybody was, you know what I'm saying, like, hollering and screaming and you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, call my kids, man, call my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, let me talk to my son, you know what I'm saying? Call my kids. But everybody was just, overhyped and shit.
And also, just for transparency, you mentioned that it was adrenaline you were feeling, but what about drugs? Were you under the influence of any drugs during that moment?
I wasn't at all, bro. I was coming from my daughter's birthday party, dropping my mom off home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't, dude, I wasn't under no drugs, no nothing. You know what I mean? For real.
And did you have a near-death experience at all?
Nah. I would say when I found myself getting into like the hospital, the actual hospital, you know what I mean? Cause I guess they had me like sedated either there or from the loss of blood. I was just like in and out of, you know what I mean, in and out of conscious, whatever, this and that. And but I know when I got to the hospital, you know what I'm saying, I could hear the nurses and shit talking, right? And they just saying all kind of fucked up shit, bro. Like, it's just like, another one, yeah, he ain't gonna make it, he gonna die, and just they all kind of shit like that. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm saying, they gonna let me die in this fucking hospital. I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying, be fucked up for real, like. So like, that's like that was another time, like, I felt like, like that it might be over for me here. Cause I'm like, they ain't gonna do their fucking job if they talking like that, you know what I mean? For real.
Let me be a little bit more specific here, though. Near-death experience, as defined by Oxford Languages, is an unusual experience taking place on the brink of death and recounted by a person after recovery, typically an out-of-body experience or a vision of a tunnel of light.
Well, nah, I didn't.
Just curious there.
Nah, I didn't.
Now, you mentioned one bullet is still in you. When it came to the other bullets, did any of them just go through you? Were some of them removed?
I really don't know. For real, like when I got out of, cause once I made it to the hospital and everything, you know, like they told me how many times I've been shot, but, you know, like by that time, you know, I'm up, you know how they sedated me, they had to, you know what I'm saying, give me a colostomy bag, all kind of other shit, and operate while they was doing all that shit, you know, I'm knocked the fuck out, you know what I'm saying? So when I got up, you know, when I woke up, you know, I had the colostomy bag on and I had staples in me, all kind of shit like that and everything. And, you know, when the nurse came in there, you feel me, you know, she let me know, like, you know, yeah, you know, he was shot 6 times and, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Is it a possibility that one bullet that's left in you can still come out at any given moment?
Yeah, that shit be poking out like a motherfucker, like, you know, I'm sure, you know, it could, you know, come out, you feel me? But and somehow I feel like, well, if they didn't get it out, it's probably there for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to just fuck with it, you know?
Can it do any further damage in your body, just being in your body?
It hasn't so far, so, you know what I mean?
And the time you got shot, it's been years now since that time, right? It's 2023 at this point.
Exactly.
But at that moment when that happened, did you refrain from certain activities just to prevent that bullet from doing any further damage that it could have?
Hell nah. Hell nah, bro. Like when that happened, bro, I was an ignorant little dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I still had an ignorant mentality. So like, my first day out the hospital, you know what I'm saying? I'm you know, I'm outside, like, you know what I mean? For real, like tripping. You know what I'm saying? Tripping though, for real, bro, like, tripping.
A few more questions here about this incident. When it comes to that particular bullet, any sensitivity to weather changes where that bullet's located?
Nah, it's like that motherfucker just there, like.
No issue when it rains, no issue in the wintertime when it gets colder and the temperatures drop?
Nah. It's like it's just there.
Have you experienced a metal detector or metal wand since the incident?
Nah. That's what's crazy too. Nah, the metal detector don't go off for none of that neither.
So you have gone through one, just nothing, no sounds?
Of course, you know, you always go through, you know what I'm saying, whether you catch a flights, you know what I mean? Or either just walking through a club, you know what I'm saying? You know, going inside the club and never go off.
Do you know the caliber of those 6 bullets?
Yeah, nigga shot me with a carbon. You know what I'm saying? Carbon 15. You know what I'm saying? They shot at me 42 times, but I was just only hit 6.
And you were the intended target?
Yeah.
Not an innocent bystander?
Yeah, man, for real.
Wait, just for clarification, you were the target or the bystander?
Nah, I was the target, bro. Yeah, man.
Okay, winding down here. Looking back, what was your key to the survival of those gunshots? How do you think
stay low? Cause I was sitting in the car, right? I'm sitting in the car and my mom, you know, like I said, I'm just dropping my mom off. So she's in her doorway. I'm right in front of her door. And, you know, I'm talking to her and blah, 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 blah. So I went home and then walked up. I looked. Like, it was so crazy, bro. Like, I had enough time to make a phone call because I'm seeing a dude fidgeting. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, like, I'm making a comment like, man, get around here, man, cause woo, woo, woo. So, I do that, fam. By this time, they start busting, and then loose. I'm screaming at my mom, like, get in the house. You know what I'm saying? But she just standing right there, you know what I mean? For real, bro. So I'm worried, you know, because I don't want no stray bullets hitting her, you know what I mean? And I'm looking up at her, and like I said, I'm in the car. So they really like hitting the car or whatever, they shooting the car up. And I'm ducking down. So now I'm like, damn. So I know I'm not getting hit though. So I'm like, damn, let me try to crawl out You know what I'm saying? On the passenger side, you feel me? Crawl from the driver's side to the passenger side. You know, like that was my plan to crawl out from the passenger side and take out. You feel me? Hit the alley and take out. But once I tried to slouch over to the passenger side, that when I started feeling them bitter. Pum, pum, pum. You know what I'm saying? I started feeling them. Pum, 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 like, damn. So by the time I opened the passenger door, I just fell out that bit. Boom, and I couldn't move. So now I'm laying on side the car, and all I could do is like look under the car and I see the nigga feet. And he still just, you dig, in this mode, just shooting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, like in my mind, I'm thinking, nigga about to come stand over me and you hear me finish the job, but you know what I'm saying? You know, grace of God, you know what I'm saying? You know, I just saw the feet just turn around and, you know what I'm saying? You know, and they took off. So I was like, damn. So now, you know, I'm just on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Bleeding for real. For real.
Now, in this instance, you were shot at 42 times, 6 actually hit you.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you make of the fact that there are some that get shot just one time by one bullet?
Yeah.
And they're not even able
Man,
to speak
listen
in an
to
interview?
me. I knew a guy got shot in the leg, bro, and didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I just felt like situations like that let you know that you're here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And let you know that your job not done. You know what I'm saying? For real, you know? For real.
You mentioned God here in this portion of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow religion by any chance?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Care to share what?
Yeah. I really don't know what religion. I believe in God. I go to church when I can. I pray. You know what I'm saying? I do believe in a higher power. I do believe everything happens for a reason. You know, I don't know what more can I say, you know?
And growing up, were you raised to follow religion, or was this something you chose on your own?
I would say that's something I really had to really choose on my own. You know what I mean? For real.
And what age, what grade when you make a decision of that nature?
Once I got older, bro. Once I became an adult, for real. You know what I'm saying? And really started realizing how blessed I am. Like once you go to seeing how much bullshit going on around you, you know what I'm saying? And you go to seeing how much you actually surviving it. You know what I'm saying? And you still here, and you feel me? And just knowing that at any given time that could have been you that happened to, and just all that, it just make you realize man, I'm a blessed little dude. And especially to make it out of where I'm from, you know what I mean? Because there's no real outlets, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes down to the music and shit. You feel me? For real. I know a million niggas that rap. You know what I'm saying? For real, bro. So it gotta be a blessing. You know what I mean? Gotta be somebody up there that chose me. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Anything else in regards to this incident?
Shit. Nah.
Now, you've mentioned this before, maybe in our previous interviews or even in other interviews, but I'm just asking for context to lead up to the next topic. But care to share where you were born?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
And care to share where you were raised?
Mazan Street and Nine Wall. All around the Nine Wall. Yeah, they from the Desire to everywhere.
And do you still reside in New Orleans today?
Nah, I moved from out that motherfucker. It's wicked. For real.
What age were you when you officially left?
I would say, man, I officially left, bro, as soon as I started rapping and started traveling. See, once I started traveling and shit, that made me any excuse I could have to get from out, you know what I'm saying, to get from out the city, I'm gone. I don't care what it is, you know what I'm saying? If I gotta sleep at a rest stop, you know what I'm saying, for real, you hear me, and shit like that, I was making up any excuse, you know what I'm saying, the road. So it was like once I finally, you know, got a little money and shit, you know what I'm saying? Who, man, get from out of there. But home is always home, so it's like no matter where I live, that I'm always spending the day 90% of my time out there and shit, trip.
When's the last time you visited New Orleans?
Probably about last month. About to be back over there in about 10 more days.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone. So generally speaking here, but can you give the audience 5 tips visiting New Orleans?
Make sure you stay in a tourist area. If you know, like, you know, because a lot of people that go down there, they be like, oh, I got people out there, da-da-da. You make sure you know what your people are into out there. You know what I'm saying? Before you just try to hang with them and shit like that. When you go get some food and everything, man, go on fucking, you know what I'm saying, go to the real spots and get some food, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, go to Cajuns and shit, go to fucking Monroe's, you know what I'm saying, Larry Monroe's. What that is, 3, 4, I would say, don't get too drunk, you know what I'm saying, and go down too far past Bourbon, down Bourbon Street. You know what I'm saying? Don't look, stay within like 3, 4 blocks. You know what I'm saying? For real, bro. Once you go past them 4 blocks, hey, it might not be for you, bro. Don't do it, bro. Hey. But tip 5, I think that's probably my day. Stay safe.